Good afternoon. Please make your way inside the ballroom. Take your seats. Our program will begin in 2 minutes. Make your way in and take your seats. Thank you. Please welcome back the 81st President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, Reno Mayor Hillary Sheevey.
All right, are you guys enjoying yourselves? Come on, mayors, come on, come in, sit down. All right. Hi, Katya. Mwah. Come on, you guys, sit down. Okay, so I'm super excited. All of you saw my earlier sidekick, Justin Ruppel. He's amazing, and he's going to play a fun game with you. So come on out, the one and only Justin Ruppel. And like I said, many of you have probably seen him on America's Got Talent. I almost cried.
Oh, you did?
I wanted to get the video so you guys could see whenever they accepted him, because you walked off and you were so emotional.
Yeah, I did a lot of crying. Yeah.
You did, right? Because I would be so stressed out to be up there and I couldn't take the rejection.
Well, thank you. I take a lot of rejection. I
You
appreciate it. I'm used to it. Like right now, no one's paying attention to me, so that's cool.
Anyway, okay, the floor is yours, my friend.
Give it up
Take
for
away.
Mayor Hillary Sheevey, everybody. Please, round of applause. All right, while you all are sitting down, many of you may not recognize me. You may know my voice because I was part of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Anybody have any kids who watch How to Train Your Dragon, the franchise, yeah? 2 people, fantastic. Thank you, Mayor Bass. Without you, nothing happens, fantastic. Here's the deal. I got invited to go to the How to Train Your Dragon premiere, and I don't know if you've ever been at a Hollywood premiere. There are so many celebrities there, it'll scare the daylights out of you. I walked in, the first celebrity I bumped into was Keanu Reeves. What do you say to Keanu Reeves? You know what I said? You're Keanu Reeves. And he said, I know. That's it, that's all he did. He just kind of whispered and he did bullet time. The next thing that happened, Seth Rogen was by the kids' items. I'll let you know what he was doing there. He was just sitting in a cloud of vape smoke like, this movie's about dragons, it's crazy. Anyway, next thing that happened, Gerard Butler. I don't know if you know his name, but he was the man in the movie 300 that kicked that man in the chest and said, "This is Sparta." He looked at me and said, "You, I want to talk to you." And I peed a little bit because honestly, I don't know if you've ever seen him. He is 6'5" and he has abs like river rocks, okay? And as he was getting closer, he just kept getting bigger and he says, "You're the guy who does Tough Nut. You do all the impressions, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do all the impressions." And he goes, "I hear you do an impression of me. Do it." Anybody in here, any mayors ever heard an impression of you done to your face? Was that a moment you enjoyed? Anybody? Someone was like, "This is what you sound like." And you're like, "That's not it." And someone's like, "Yes, that's exactly what you sound like." This man wants to hear his voice. And he goes, "Hold on. I'll put it on Instagram." He puts it in selfie mode and he goes, "I am here with Tough Nut. He's going to do an impression of me. Do it." And I froze. Nothing came out of my face. And he said, "Just do a Scottish accent." So I looked around, there's a sign that said DreamWorks, Scottish accent. I did Shrek, everybody. He was expecting his voice. I went, "My name's Gerard Butler. I live in a swamp with a donkey." "Is that actually supposed to be me?" I said, "Yes, it is." And he goes, "We're not going to put that on Instagram." And then he just walked away from me slowly, and I felt exactly what it was like to be Donkey from the movie Shrek. I just went, "Hey, John Butler, come back here for a second. I do a whole bunch of other great impressions. Let me take you out for breakfast sometime. I'll make you waffles. There are dragons here." There's a Hollywood story for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now you're back from lunch. I didn't want to do traditional comedy. I can look out there and I can see on the faces that you are the public servants that don't get enough attention. A lot of your cities don't get enough attention. So what I'm going to put up on the screen behind me are a list of the voices that I do in television and movies and cartoons. These are the celebrity voices I do, right here. And what I want you to do is, if you need a pick-me-up, since I don't know how to do roasting, I'm not very good at roasting people, I want you to just raise your hand, tell me what city you're the mayor of, and I'm going to point to one of those celebrities, and they're going to make you feel better about your city. So somebody just go ahead and raise your hand. Yes. Dublin? Dublin, California. Who would you like? The guy with the glasses and the big eyebrows. That would be Eugene Levy. Hi, Dublin, California. Great place. I've never been there. I assume that you do a lot of drinking because Dublin and Irish and California, so there you go. I hope that many good grants come to your city in Dublin, and there you go. There you go. See how easy that is? Very simple. We have a couple minutes left. Let's yes, sir. What was yours? Westland, Michigan? What are you known for? Auto plants. All right, auto plants. We're going to go with Liam Neeson. How about that? Liam Neeson.
Hello. I don't know who you are, and I have no idea where your city is. Apparently you have auto plants. You have the best auto plants. If anybody says otherwise, I will come to your city, and I will tickle you and take you to...
Where was it?
Westland.
There you go. I have no idea. Congratulations. He's not going to tape that. Later on, he's like, "That didn't work." Yes. What would you like? Yes, Mayor. Very good. For Texas. Say the city name one more time. City of Killeen. All right. Killeen. Did I say it right? All right. Cat Williams is going to say something very nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've ever been to Texas. You get in the car right now, you drive west over the border. You keep driving and you keep driving till you're in the biggest state in this United States of America. Killeen is the greatest city I have never been to. She got up, she demonstrated to everybody where she's from. You should go there.
There you go. There's a very nice thing. All right, we need, yes, ma'am. Peoria, Illinois, home of Richard Pryor. Oh my God, Richard Pryor. Oh God. Well, who am I going to do that's the home of Richard Pryor? Okay, let's my name's Adam Sandler, and oh, Richard Pryor is the greatest of all time. Yes. Jeff Goldblum here. Peoria. Yes, Peoria. Yes, that's where Wayne and Garth are just right outside there. Peoria. They come together. Rain, chaos. Ha ha ha. There you go. We got time for one more. One last one. Yes. Pennsylvania. North Pennsylvania. York, Pennsylvania. From Al Pacino. Oh, you get Harrison Ford from York, Pennsylvania. Here you go.
Hey, this is Harrison Ford for York, Pennsylvania. I crashed my plane there. It was beautiful.
There you go, York, Pennsylvania. He's like, that's great. I don't know. You guys, that's all the time. Give yourselves a round of applause. You need more of that. You need more of that. I am your amuse bouche. I just came up here to do a little entertaining now, to give it back to my good friend, Mayor Sheevy, everybody, please.
You're so talented. Okay, who do you think you do the best, though? Like, is there someone that you just, like, knock it out of the park?
I think I do Jeff Bridges better than Jeff Bridges.
You do?
A lot of ins and outs, man. She's the greatest, isn't she? She's fantastic. There you go.
I love that.
The golf clap was very good.
I love that. Okay, thank you so much, Justin. All right, give it up for Justin Ruppel. All right. Okay. Now I would like to welcome a very special guest and a familiar face from the White House. He is the Director of Intergovernmental Affairs. He really doesn't need any introduction. We are very, very lucky to have him at the helm. And so let's see. He just hosted us at the White House, about 40 mayors for our fly-in. So we're very grateful. He was just in my city, and we were going over ARPA projects and seeing the wonderful things that we're doing in Reno. And so it is with great pleasure, someone who cares deeply about our country and the work that we are doing every single day as mayors when it comes to infrastructure, to homelessness, is the wonderful and only, like I said, he doesn't need any introduction, but give it up for Tom Perez from the White House. Mwah.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here and great to be back with you. Thank you, Mayor Sheevy, for your friendship. Thank you to all of you for what you're doing every day. Congratulations to Mayor Lucas on the birth of his child. Not much going on for you, Mayor Lucas, these days. And I know Tom Cochran is here somewhere, but as I will always call him, he's the Cal Ripken of nonprofit leadership. So thank you for continuing your great work, Tom, on so many issues. You know, folks, we are living in a moment of tremendous peril, and we are also living in a moment of unprecedented opportunity. And as we sit here, you know, conferences like this are great moments for reflection, renewal, get off the dance floor and onto the balcony and see what we've been doing. And this is indeed a moment where we will reflect years from now and we will say, we never had a greater opportunity to make more of a difference in more people's lives than we do right now. And that's exactly what you're doing. And the number one thing I want to say to you is thank you. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for the work you're doing day in and day out. This partnership has enabled us to do more things in more places for more people than ever before in my lifetime. I've never seen, and the president has never seen, scope and scale that we see now. And I've had the privilege, thanks to all of you, of making so many house calls across this country to see how opportunity is expanding and transforming lives and communities. Because money is one thing, but the stories of what our investments are doing are what are so remarkable. I had the privilege of being in Allentown recently with Mayor Turk, and we were at a housing development, and I met the De La Rosa family. They had been living and waiting to get into this apartment unit, a series of units funded by federal, state, and local partnership. And I'll never forget meeting their son, David, who said to me, "I've never had a backyard before." That's what these investments are all about, providing opportunity. The mayor of Phoenix, Mayor Gallego, I was with her earlier today, and again, Mayor, thank you for what you're doing. You are building through your investments. You're transforming opportunity for so many people. The investments in chips manufacturing, again, another joint venture between the federal government, the state and local governments, and your leadership. We are building a generation of workers together who are going to be making $100,000. And you're also, all of you, you're doing these things through an equity lens, understanding that we all succeed only when we all succeed. And it was remarkable, and Mayor, you pointed out to me this morning that among the workers that are building the chip factories are women from the Navajo Nation, people who their parents were, in many cases, generational coal miners. And now we are transforming them into these remarkable positions where they're making such a big difference. Mayor Sheevy, I remember vividly when we visited the Veterans Facility that is being built. Again, this is a facility to help to house veterans, to provide wraparound services that they need. That house call was so impactful to see what you are doing and what we're doing together, putting these things in motion. Thank you so much for what you're doing. I am scared of the...
I'm a climate organizer in Kansas City.
Excellent.
My family all was displaced in a natural disaster. Will you commit? Will
Yep.
you commit? Will you call on President Biden to declare a climate emergency
Ma'am.
and deliver us hundreds of good union jobs? Will you please protect us from climate disasters? Mr.
Thank you so much thank you so much for your advocacy. We do. Thank you so much for your advocacy. Thank you so much. Ma'am, I appreciate all you're doing, and I appreciate what we're doing together to attack and combat the climate crisis. So many things. I remember spending time with Mayor Romero in Tucson, where you're planting 1 million trees as part of the effort to combat the climate crisis, making sure we're building buildings that are climate resilient, the work that's being done throughout. I'm so grateful that there is an understanding and a passion about climate, and nobody has invested more to combat the climate crisis and to build a clean energy economy than President Joe Biden. And we're doing it in partnership with all of you, and we will continue to. And I so appreciate the passion that the climate generation is showing, and I'm so proud of what we will continue to do. Because you look at the wildfires in New Mexico, you look at so many other areas where we know that our climate crisis needs to continue to be addressed. And so thank you so much. You know, continuing on our journey, I remember spending time in Arizona with Mayor Giles as well. Mayor Giles, thank you so much. I think you're here. There you are over there. Thank you. That airport is going gangbusters. You bought a hotel so that you could help house new arrivals and people experiencing homelessness. You are putting your values in action day in and day out. I was with Mayor Gaylord Baird this morning from Lincoln. And again, you know, the story of Christopher Onque is the story of investing in everyone. Christopher has been through the criminal justice system. He's taken some wrong forks in the road, but we believe that everybody has potential. And because of investments that the mayor has made in Christopher, He now has his commercial driver's license. He's making $1,500 a week. That's what these investments are about. They're investing in people, and that's what we will continue to do. The one area I want to discuss further and to say again thank you to all of you is our immigration situation. And again, we have worked in partnership. And here's the reality of our immigration challenges. We are in the throes of the largest wave of global migration since the Second World War. And there are many root causes, including climate change, including authoritarian leaders, including income inequality that has gotten so bad that people are coming. And the president has understood, and he said when he was candidate Biden, that our immigration system is broken. And we need to come together. And we have a proud bipartisan history in the United States of coming together around immigration because we know that we are a nation of immigrants, and we always will be. As President Reagan said, and I agree with what you just said, as President Reagan said the day before he left office in 1989, we lead the world because unique among our nations, we draw our people, our strength from every country and corner of the world. And by doing so, we continually enrich our country. If we ever close the door to new Americans, our leadership in the world would soon be lost. That was President Ronald Reagan. The party of Lincoln, the party of Ronald Reagan, the party of George W. Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush, has been the party that has welcomed immigrants. The challenge that we have right now is the following. President Biden has said repeatedly, I will work with anyone and everyone who wants to come together to fix this challenge. In 1996, that was the last time we had comprehensive immigration reform, and it was indeed bipartisan. And by the way, one of the governors who helped the most in the passage of that bill was a guy named George W. Bush, who understood compassionate conservatism. The challenge that we have right now is that the president has tried to work in a bipartisan fashion, introducing most recently a bipartisan bill that would have addressed the border security challenges that we are confronting. And regrettably, that bipartisan bill did not pass. Why? Because the former president told the Republican caucus, you can't give Joe Biden a victory. That's not how Joe Biden views the world of governance. That's not how you view the world of governance. You view the world of governance as, I got to help people. And so as a result, the president has taken two actions in the past 2 weeks that I want to bring to your attention. 2 weeks ago, he took action on the border security side to control our border by ensuring that people who cross without permission between the ports of entry will not be able to do that, and they will be subject to removal. In addition, the president ensured, and we have legal pathways in place, if you come to the border seeking asylum, using the CBP One app, which has allowed 14,000 people to enter in an orderly fashion, you can continue to do that. As a result of the president's actions of 2 weeks ago, border encounters are down 25%. We're working closely with our Mexican partners, and they have been very, very helpful. Tuesday of this week, a number of you were in Washington for the second element of what the president did, and that was executive action to ensure that immigrants who have been here 10 years or more, who are undocumented, who are married to a U.S. citizen, are able to apply to get a green card. What currently happens, and you have people who are in this boat in your communities. We have roughly 500,000 people who are undocumented. They've been here 10 years, and by the way, of that 500,000, the average amount of time they have been here is 23 years. 23 years. They came here when they were young. They fell in love with a U.S. citizen. They got married. They're having kids. It's just like Javier, the person who introduced the president. He's a dreamer. He came here when he was 3 or 4. He's now a nurse in Houston. He works in a COVID unit. He was in the front lines of COVID during the pandemic, saving people's lives, putting his own life at risk. He's every bit as American as me and my kids and my wife, and he deserves to have the opportunity to get the piece of paper that proves it. And that's what this action will do for 500,000 people. And when you add up their family members, you're talking about making sure we're keeping these families together, making sure they continue to be in the workforce, whether they're a nurse, whether they're a construction worker, whether they are a business owner, and all of these folks are doing that. And so the president, through his executive action, will enable them to apply to adjust their status here in the United States, because currently what they have to do is go home to their country of origin and apply there and separate themselves from their family with no certainty that they will ever be able to come back. That's not right. And when you tell someone to go home who's lived here virtually their entire life, this is their home. And this is about fundamental fairness. And so this is what we're doing. The second thing the president did 2 days ago, which is very important as well, is we have so many dreamers who are graduating from college. They've gotten great skills. They're in demand. They have job offers. But guess what? They can't get a work permit. Why the heck do we encourage people to get educated here, train them, and then tell them they can't get a job? That's asinine. And the president is changing that as well. Dreamers are every bit as part of our fabric as my U.S.-born kids. And so we need your help here. And you have been so helpful to date. You know, I'm not even going to name names because there are too many names to mention. Our border mayors, our mayors in New York, Chicago, Denver, so many other cities, Albany, who have welcomed immigrants. That's who we are as a nation. As the president said Tuesday, Lady Liberty is not some relic of the past, it's who we are. So moving forward, we need your help to make sure that we are educating people in the community who may be eligible for this program. This is the largest expansion of opportunity since DACA in 2012. So please help us. You have been such a partner as we have tackled the challenges at the border. We are indeed a nation of immigrants. We should not be weaponizing this problem. We should be solving this problem. That's exactly what the president is doing, and he knows that we can only do it together. So thank you so much for what you're doing day in and day out. We will continue to be in touch with you as we implement these executive actions. And again, we are all in this together. This is a tremendous moment of opportunity in our nation's journey to form that more perfect union. I am confident we can continue to succeed, and I am most grateful for what you do day in and day out. Thank you so much.
Please welcome the Vice President of the United States Conference of Mayors, Columbus, Ohio Mayor Andrew Ginther.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to present the 2024 Climate Protection Awards. We assemble here today to recognize 13 award-winning mayors, our colleagues, for their leadership, for their successful city programs, and most importantly, for their efforts to address growing climate challenges. This is our 18th year honoring our colleagues with these special awards. These mayors are demonstrating that local climate action is helping us reduce carbon emissions and adapt to climate change. Today's awards are made possible through our partnership with Walmart. Joining us today to honor this year's award winners is Walmart's Vice President of Renewable Energy Strategy. He leads the company's renewable energy strategy team, which focuses on power trading and orientation, renewable energy procurement, and tax-oriented investments. His team helps accelerate Walmart's journey to 100% renewable energy. We're grateful for Walmart's sustained commitment to the climate and for joining with us to honor mayors for their climate leadership. Like the mayors we are honoring today, Walmart is leading by example to show its colleagues that a 100% renewable future is attainable. Please join me in welcoming our partner, Frank Palladino.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mayor Ginther, thank you so much for the kind introduction and for inviting Walmart to be here today. I am thrilled to represent Walmart and have the opportunity to recognize the great work that cities across the country are doing on the issue of climate protection. As you know, we've been working to embed regeneration across our enterprise and value chain. That means leaving things better than when we found them. In practice, we must work hard to remove barriers to more sustainable behaviors and give back to our communities. Because like all of you, we know that people want to take care of their communities, their neighborhoods, and each other. We need to make actions easy, efficient, useful, and affordable. And we need to invest in systems that can set us up for a more regenerative future. That's where Walmart can play a unique role. For example, in January at the Consumer Electronics Show, we announced that we would help bring at least 10 gigawatts of new clean energy to the grid by 2030. And we want to do that in a way that makes clean energy more affordable and accessible to more people nationwide. Many of you have read reports about energy demand expected to grow as companies invest heavily in AI. That makes it even more critical that we invest in the future now, so that as much of that energy can be emissions-free as possible. In March, we announced the first phase of our investments into power purchase agreements and community solar projects that are expected to bring about 1 gigawatt of clean energy to the grid in the coming years. Many of these projects serve our facilities, and a number of them enable access to more clean energy for our communities, helping people save money. These projects also create local jobs and millions of tax revenues, which I'm sure you can all appreciate. As an example, we plan to invest in 22 community solar projects across 5 states that are expected to help 13,000 households save $8 million per year annually on their energy costs. That includes $6 million of savings that are directed towards low to moderate income communities. These projects don't just help Walmart run our operations more efficiently and effectively, they benefit our associates and our customers in your communities. Another example is the work we're doing to build out our own public EV charging network across thousands of stores. To date, we have about 1,300 fast chargers at 280 facilities, and we want to expand that significantly. With our own network, we can make EV ownership more accessible, reliable, and affordable across the country, whether you live in suburban, urban, or rural areas. At the same time, we're working with many of you and your local organizations on improving systems that can be key to help our society become more regenerative. Issues such as plastic and waste. One such policy here is the extended producer responsibility. EPR requires packaging material producers to pay volume and material-based fees and work together with governments to disperse those funds to improve recycling systems. By building a circular, incentivized system, EPR has the potential to generate the resources we need to address plastic pollution in a real way. Several countries around the world have been operating similar EPR systems for decades with significant success, seeing an increase of 75% in recycling rates. And here in the US, California, Colorado, Maine, and Oregon have enacted EPR laws at the state level. Who doesn't like less waste? Let me close with this. These issues are real and they are urgent. Many of you continue to deal with the increasing frequency of natural disasters and their consequences. With each event, we reduce the potential of our society to do more, to be more, and to live better. Here too, Walmart has stepped forward many times over our 60-plus years, side by side with first responders, disaster after disaster. Utilities think of us first when they need space, a control room, or basic supplies, while they work to restore power in the aftermath of a storm. Our communities know they can depend on Walmart for meals, showers, internet, and more in these times. All this is possible because we, Team Walmart, choose action. Every single time, we choose action. So let me leave you with this. Leadership and stewardship go hand in hand at Walmart. As we continue to evolve our work, I ask that you seek us out as partners. We're here to help people save money and live better. And that final part, live better, is going to require us to come together again and again and again. Congratulations to our winners. Your innovations are key in building a brighter future. And thank you to all of you and the U.S. Conference of Mayors for everything you've done over the last 20 years.
Frank, thank you, and Walmart for your strong support of our long-standing partnership on climate protection. Now, it's time to present our 2024 Mayor's Climate Protection Awards. I'd like to first recognize our honorable mention winners in the small city category. Our first honorable mention winner is Adena Mayor Jim Hovland. Mayor Hovland, great work, Jim. Mayor Hovland is being honored today for his city's Next Gen Trees program. The focus of the Next Gen initiative is to increase the diversity of Adena's tree canopy by targeting areas with low tree density. Through their study, the city identified that many of the lower density tree areas where extreme heat was present were also areas where affordable housing was located. This work has demonstrated the city's commitment to sustainability, health, and equity. We congratulate Mayor Hovland on his leadership in this award. Our next awardee is Palo Alto Mayor Greer Stone for his city's electrification initiative, a step towards a sustainable future. This ambitious electrification campaign ensures residents to electrify water heating, appliances, and transportation. It advances a key city goal to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 80% by 2030. Palo Alto previously won the same award for the city's multi-family gas furnace to heat pump retrofit pilot, an element of its electrification campaign. Mayor, congratulations. Next, Salem, Massachusetts Mayor Dominic Pangallo is being recognized for his city's offshore wind marshaling facility. This historic American port city, once home to a site with a multi-story high coal pile, oil tanks, and polluting power plant, is now helping chart the course to a clean energy future. This site will now facilitate the future operations of new significant energy supplies, fueled by an expansion of offshore wind from the mid-Atlantic to Maine. Congratulations. Our next awardee is Santa Fe Mayor Alan Weber. Alan is being honored for his city's facilities improvement measures. He's acting on the findings of a 2020 investment grade audit. The city has converted roughly 9,000 light fixtures to LED technology, installed 2.75 megawatts of photovoltaic systems, upgraded 760 water fixtures, installed 28 high-efficiency transformers, and implemented many other actions. 2 years ago, under Mayor Weber's leadership, he was also recognized for his Solarized Santa Fe initiative. Mayor, congratulations again for your continuing climate leadership. Next, Southfield Mayor Kenson Siver is being recognized and honored for his Sustainable Southfield initiative. This initiative relies upon a collaborative effort between city residents, businesses, students, and elected officials to seek an environmentally conscious, economically prosperous, and socially equitable community. The initiative focuses on developing public education, placemaking, green infrastructure, micro-mobility, trail systems, solar lights bollards, EV charging stations, and fleet electrification. Congratulations, Mayor. Our final honorable mention winner in this category is West Hollywood Mayor John Erickson. John, congratulations. You're being honored today for your city's We Hope Climate Action Initiative. It outlines the city's path to achieve carbon neutrality by 2035. This initiative is organized around 5 focus areas: city governance, energy, transportation and mobility, waste, and the natural environment. Community feedback, existing conditions, best practices, and state and federal policies informed 20 climate measures in the city's approach as set forth in 60 specific actions. Mayor, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations to you and your city on your climate leadership. Our last award, first place in the small city category, is awarded to St. Cloud Mayor Dave Kleiss for his citywide energy transformation program. Launched in 2014, the city set a goal of supplying 75% of its electrical demand for city services with renewable energy by 2035. By 2020, 100% of the city's electrical demand was being supplied with renewable energy. To tell us about his efforts, let's welcome up to the stage Mayor Dave Kleiss. Mayor?
Well, thank you, and thank you for this award. We're so honored as a city to receive this from U.S. Conference of Mayors, fellow mayors. We're very proud of the ability for us to partner and collaborate. And as all of you, our mayors, know, it's these types of awards that really incentivize us to do even more and to do better. We all in our community have a responsibility with climate challenges, with preserving the resources. And in our city, as in all of your cities, that really started with preserving the resources, the financial resources that we always are challenged with, but the environmental, the natural resources. And we've got a great team as cities all over. We have a great team that's headed by Tracy Hodell in our city of St. Cloud that really, we challenge the teams, and as you mentioned, we set a goal in 2014 to by 2035 to be at 75%. And we reached over 100% by 2020. And I know, as all of you mayors know, a job as a mayor is to set unattainable goals and then have your staff accomplish them way ahead of time, and they did. And that was we did it through collaboration and through partnership, and really doing it in a way through solar, through biogas, through, we even, our staff came up with a way of, utilizing, we do this, most of this energy production is at our wastewater treatment facility. When I was growing up, they were sewage plants. Now I'm supposed to call them nutrient recovery facilities. But these nutrient recovery facilities, in fact, they made it so that even the community embraces it, because the slogan that we use is from poop to power. So if you're going to be flush, you might as well make energy out of it, and that's what we focused on, and our team and our folks did that. We did it with collaboration, and I really appreciate this award as Walmart as a sponsor. We used a lot of our corporate sponsors in our community to embrace that and utilize ways to do this in all of our aspects. We also did it as a team in the community. So whether it didn't matter whether it was the police department or the fire department or the parks department, all of it focused on that sustainability and that ability to create our energy to put us on that track. We set additional high goals moving forward, and I know we're confident that we'll be able to achieve them. It's really the collaborative effort and the partnerships that we've been able to do through, and this is something that, as mayors we all know, it's really that collaboration and partnerships that help us do that. And I think we're leading at all of our communities. And I got to have a shout out. We've been doing this in Minnesota for a long time. And I know a shout out to the honorable mention of Edina. There are a lot of cities that are really focusing on this. And again, we can't do it without that collaborative. And these awards set these types of goals for us to do and energize us even more. I know our folks in St. Cloud and all your cities will be even more energized when we receive this type of recognition. So thank you very much. And I have to say this to the fellow mayors, thank you for what you're doing in your communities, in your cities. It really means a lot. I've been mayor, I'm on my 20th year, and hopefully the following mayor, after I retire in January, will be coming up here winning another award for going forward in this. But we're going to be a municipal, in fact, we're focusing right now, our nutrient recovery plant, and you all have them, is going to be the first in the world to produce hydrogen from water, reducing the hydrogen gas, first in the world. We all have these sewage plants or these nutrient recovery facilities. Why don't we all do this in a way that we can save, again, our environment and reduce the climate change effect? But we're looking forward to that, and thank you so much for this award.
Congratulations again to Mayor Kleiss, who also gave us some of the greatest quotes, I think, thus far of the conference. Really appreciate your leadership. Now I'd like to recognize the honorable mention winners in the large city category. Our first large city honorable mention winner is Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganim. There you go, Joe. Mayor Ganim is being honored today for his city's coal-fired power plant closure. In 2021, the city of Bridgeport successfully decommissioned the PSEG coal-fired power plant, which operated on the city's waterfront since 1968. Closing this coal plant significantly reduced the city's and the region's greenhouse gas emissions. While the plant supplied power well beyond the city's boundaries, its immediate environmental and public health impacts were borne locally by city residents. Stakeholders are now working to address the future electrical needs of the region and decide on the next iteration of energy infrastructure. Congratulations, Mayor Ganim. Our next awardee is Dearborn Mayor Abdullah Hammoud. Mayor Hammoud is being recognized today for his city's Public Health Department review of climate action. Under Mayor Hammoud's leadership, the city created the Department of Public Health, becoming the first city in the nation to voluntarily launch a health department. The goal was to use the social determinants of health as the primary means for evaluating public policy and for prioritizing environmental health and climate action. The new department functions as a health policy think tank, working closely with other city departments and community partners to adjust programs and policies focusing on resident and environmental health. This effort goes beyond an individual program that slashes carbon emissions in one area. Rather, it applies a framework on public health and climate action to every municipal policy and program. Mayor, congratulations on this initiative. Our next awardee is Lincoln Mayor Lyrian Gaylor Baird, who is being honored today for her city's residential rental rehabilitation project. This initiative takes an innovative, climate-smart approach to improving the quality of low-income rental housing by increasing energy efficiency, reducing emissions, and ensuring tenants are provided with safe, comfortable housing at an affordable rate. In qualifying census tracts with high numbers of renters, this project offers up to $15,000 per dwelling unit to upgrade affordable rental housing. The city's goal is to rehabilitate 1,000 rental units over the next 10 years. Congratulations, Mayor, for your leadership. Our next honorable mention winner is Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway. She's being recognized today for her city's Efficiency Navigator program. This program provides free energy efficiency retrofits and other upgrades to small and medium-sized multifamily housing. Selected buildings receive free technical assistance and building upgrades, including efficient lighting, HVAC upgrades, and better insulation, among other improvements. Launched in 2021, the program has already provided for energy-saving retrofits in 19 buildings with 112 units. Upgraded buildings are not only more comfortable and healthier for our residents, they also cut carbon emissions, so far by more than 116,000 pounds per year. The program only pursues projects that pass energy cost savings onto tenants where they belong. And participating building owners are required to keep rents stabilized for 5 years after project completion. Madison's success has prompted some neighboring cities to adopt Navigator programs as well. Congratulations, Mayor, for your climate leadership. And our final honorable mention winner in the large city category is San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria. He's being honored today for his city's zero emissions municipal buildings and operation policy. This policy aims to cut natural gas use from 50% of municipal facilities by 2030 and from all city facilities by 2035. The city also expects to transition its entire municipal fleet to zero-emission vehicles by 2035. The policy also requires new municipal facilities to be all electric and to be designed to include solar or other renewable energy generation and battery storage systems sufficient to cover the facility's electrical load. The zero emissions municipal buildings and operation policy is one of the actions the city is taking to implement its climate action plan, which was an honorable mention award winner last year. Congratulations, Mayor, and thank you for your continued climate leadership. I'm especially pleased to announce our final winner, first place in the large city category. This is being awarded today to our amazing and wonderful conference president, the Mayor of Reno, Nevada. President Shivi and Reno are being honored for her city's community-based solar resource. She's not just a leader of this conference, she's also a leader on climate protection. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to an incredible and visionary leader, our president, Mayor Hillary Shivi.
We won! Dude, we won.
Woo! All right,
Al Pacino,
we won.
acceptance speech.
Hurrah! I would like to thank the Academy. Also, Walmart, great deals. Okay, there we go.
All right. Pretty good, huh? Thank you so much, Walmart. We are so elated and excited to receive this award. Quite honestly, we're going to make it go to really good use for my beautiful Truckee River. So thank you.
Keep the Truckee River clean.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
President Cheevy, thank you again for your incredible leadership. Congratulations on your award and for your service to this organization. Please join me in recognizing today's award winners and in thanking our awards program sponsor. Speaking of great partnerships, I'm pleased to introduce a representative from another one of our close partners. Nationwide has held a long-standing commitment to public sector employees. As a platinum partner of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, it has worked closely with mayors to become the #1 provider of retirement plans in the government market. It's why the U.S. Conference of Mayors supports Nationwide as the provider of choice for cities across the country. They've helped our city workers prepare for and live in retirement with deferred compensation plans, new investment options, and lifetime income in retirement. We're excited to continue our partnership with Nationwide as they bring innovative solutions to meet the needs of employees across the country. Mayors, please join me in welcoming product specialist Eric Jalitsky.
Thank you, Mayor Ginther. So like Mayor Ginther mentioned, the partnership between Nationwide and USCM is indeed very strong. We've been working together for over 45 years to help your employees save money for retirement through the 457 and 401A plans that you all provide them as part of your benefit offering. So I want to share a few numbers with you that highlight the partnership. And the first one is 4,211. That's the number of cities and city jurisdictions that offer a nationwide retirement plan. It's pretty amazing. But what's even more amazing is this number, 563,000. That's the number of city employees that have a nationwide retirement account throughout the country. So clearly we're doing a great job together helping employees save for retirement. But what's become increasingly clear through the years is that simply saving money for retirement by itself is not enough. So through a recent survey that we conducted, we found that 40% of older American employees expect to retire later than planned due to inflation and rising living costs. Of that 40%, 73% are worried they won't have enough income in retirement. You know what the worst part about that stat? They're right. The majority of your employees will actually run out of money in retirement unless they seek help. And you know, this concept of running out of money in retirement used to be immune for the city employee because, hey, they had a pension that they could rely on for lifetime income. But as many of you know, that's changing. Many states have lessened their pension benefit, or in some cases done away with it altogether. And even in states with robust pension systems, the average employee tenure is becoming less and less, so pensions across this country are becoming less and less. So unfortunately, city employees are no longer immune to the possibility of running out of money in retirement. Furthermore, look at these two graphs. They compare people who are still working and people who are already retired and how comfortable they are with retirement. You can see that neither group is really all that comfortable, but what's most interesting is the group that's already retired is significantly less comfortable than the group that's still working. And that's pretty scary if you think about it, because once you retire, not a whole lot you can do about it. One of the major reasons why people who are retired are less comfortable than people who are still working is because of Social Security. And we all know the uncertainty around Social Security and what that's going to look like. But equally as important is the stat over here on the right, that more than 1 in 3 retirees receive less than they expected from Social Security. So you can imagine if you receive less income than you were expecting, that's going to have a pretty dramatic appeal to how comfortable you are with your retirement situation. So between the changing pension landscape and the uncertainty around Social Security, there is a need now more than ever before to not only save money for retirement, but also ensure that that savings lasts throughout retirement as well. So what's Nationwide doing to help? We have created a suite of solutions that can be added as investment options in the 457 and 401A plans that you all are already providing. The first one on the left, the Nationwide Index Principal Protection, gives your employees the opportunity to protect the money they have saved, and they will never see a loss of account value due to market fluctuation, and they still have the potential for growth if markets are up. The other 4 investments up there to the right, those are all income solutions, giving your employees the opportunity to turn their retirement savings into a stream of lifetime income, all while keeping the money in the plan and not forcing them to have to annuitize their assets. So I mentioned earlier that there's over 4,200 cities that have added that have a nationwide retirement plan. Of those, nearly 550 have already added the index principal protection, and nearly 2,700 have already added one of these income solutions. Several of those cities are represented here in this room. A few examples include Sunnyvale, California, Columbia, Missouri, and Tampa, Florida, just to name a few. So we have had such a strong partnership for so many years, and with these enhancements to the 457 and 401A plans that your cities are already offering your employees, we look to further grow and solidify the partnership between Nationwide and USCM moving forward and into the future. Thank you very much.
How's everyone doing? Come on. That's it? How's everyone doing? Oh, you can tell that's my cheering section. We're not doing so well over here. How's everyone doing? Oh, okay. How's everyone doing? Oh, really? Okay. Anyway, I am really pleased to talk about this next partnership with Mars Pet Care Better Cities for our Pets initiative, which aims to bring people and pets together. How many of you in the room have pets? Yeah, my sister always says, Hillary, pets, not people, pets. And anyway, for many of us, obviously, our pets are our family, and we want to take them everywhere because we want to share our full lives with them, correct? The Better Cities program aims to do just that by giving mayors the tools and guidelines to make our cities more pet-friendly. And I have to just tell you, my pets are my absolute world, and don't tell anyone, but I'm over the limit in my city. Should I have said that in my out loud voice?
No, you're not. No, you're holding 6 of my animals. So.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Our next guest is the Senior Director of External Affairs at Mars Pet Care North America and has led the company's corporate and brand communications, strategic partnerships, and sustainability initiatives that drive Mars Pet Care mission. Please join me in welcoming Lindsay Kordick, everybody, please.
All right, Lindsay.
Thank you. It's great to be here today. I'd like to start by framing the conversation before you hear from our mayors directly, Mayor Sheevey, Mayor Lucas, Mayor Barnett, about the importance and impact of pets in their cities. Our purpose at Mars Pet Care is a better world for pets. We see you as mayors as our key partners in this work. You can support policies and programs that really keep people and pets together. Pets have a feel-good factor, but they also play an important role in keeping people and cities healthy. Research shows pets bring needed companionship, they strengthen a sense of community, among other benefits. This is why our program, Better Cities for Pets, helps to support with best practices, research, advocacy. We provide toolkits, city grants, other resources that empower this work. Right now, we have 150 Better Cities for Pets certified cities in North America, and that translates to reaching 26 million people and 11 million pets. I encourage you all to stop by our booth in the exhibit hall, learn more, meet our team. There's also some therapy dogs there, including Louie Pancakes and Cooper. They would love to meet you too. So now I'm going to show a short film. It shows Kansas City, which is one of our certified cities, and the amazing work that Mayor Lucas and team are doing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas, and our city isn't just great for humans, it's also great for pets. So in partnership with Mars Pet Care, we are excited to have achieved certification as a better city for pets, thanks to our strong commitment to fostering an animal-friendly environment throughout our community.
Kansas City is a Better Cities for Pets city, which we're really proud of. We estimate that in Kansas City, 70% of households own animals.
I think what makes Kansas City unique is it really fosters an environment for pet lovers. There's so many options as far as dog parks and trails like Shawnee Mission Dog Park and Bark Hay, and of course our cat cafe is for cat lovers. Kansas City is such an animal-loving city.
I feel like my dogs make me very connected to Kansas City, and it's just so cool that everybody loves their dog and everybody's so friendly.
We've had so many new friendships and even stronger relationships forged here. We've had people make wedding proposals in our park.
Lots of our residents are friends here, especially our pet owners. We frequently see them walk over to Bark Hay together with their pets and walk along the river trail across the street. It's a special feeling seeing our residents become such great friends.
I was making faces. I just love it.
I saw you. I was like wondering what impression you're going to do.
Yeah, we are so honored to have with us our host of our Mayor City, Mayor Quentin Lucas, and the USCM past president, and Rochester Hills Mayor Brian Barnett, who are both actively involved in making their cities more pet-friendly.
Good to see you.
Thanks so much.
Long time no see. Okay. So, like, this is one of my most favorite things to talk about ever, is pets. And how many of you have received the Mars Pet Care Grant? Any of you? Good, okay. I almost fell over whenever my city was awarded. We do something in my city which is low cost to no cost veterinary care, especially for a lot of our homeless individuals and our seniors that are living on those really tight fixed incomes. Not a lot of cities are doing this, but they're starting to become more and more regular. Talk about why you think it's so important to foster such important environments for pets and people.
You know, there are a few different reasons, and the first of which is you really see communities that take care of their pets are communities that take care of their citizens, their people, their elderly, all ages. And so we were seeing one particular area of interest that told us we need to do better. Many survivors of domestic violence often are kept in a tough situation precisely because they don't know what's going to happen to that dog or that cat. And we asked people again and again, why won't you leave? And they said, where will they go?
Yes.
And so one of the most important things we did was investing in fostering for pets of those who are surviving domestic violence situations, who need to get out, who are running from some sort of emergency or challenge. And that has made a tremendous difference in our ability to keep mainly women and children safe in our community in more situations.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I think people really don't think of it like that. I think as women, obviously, we do worry about our children and our pets, and especially that. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that, and that's something that you're really looking at. Because we now have something called Noah's Ark shelter, where it is for domestic violence survivors, but they can bring their pets. So it really does make a huge difference. I love that you're doing that. Mayor Barnett, talk about, you did some really cool things. I think you gave away a puppy. Am I right?
Yeah.
Talk about what you're doing in your city, because you're such an animal activist.
Well, first of all, as Mayor Lucas's part-time publicist, I'm upset that he didn't work the fact in that the Kansas City Chiefs apparently won the Super Bowl into that last answer. He's worked it into literally every other answer. So
Thank you.
It's a big miss. Big miss. Listen, it's, you know, being mayor is a tough job. All of you know that. And there's a lot of things that are difficult and demanding, but pets are one of the things that are kind of fun to work with. And one thing I'll just start with, having just gone through, as most of you know, the tragedy of the last weekend, one of the initial things we did once we set up a counseling center was to bring therapy pets in, therapy dogs in, to immediately deal with the mental trauma that many of the kids and families were facing in our community. And there were so many groups that came out of nowhere to support that, which was really fantastic to see in our Department of Public Services building, which was the day before, you know, utilized as a public services building was. Now, today is filled with therapy dogs and people receiving counseling, so there's a tremendous role. One thing that I've talked about before, I've always tried to find unique ways to make my community innovative. And one of my team members came to me and said, you know, Mayor, what if we gave away a puppy to everybody that moved to the city? I thought it was a crazy idea. I thought about it, and then she put together the plan. And basically, we have a giant place called Leader Dogs for the Blind in our city, always looking for puppy raisers. We put together a program that everybody who comes to our city gets a puppy. And you talk about a unique way to find a niche for your community and stand out. We found it. We've placed puppies in tons of homes and tons of corporations as well.
I love that, because you talked about the mental health aspect of it. And we also see with seniors, that's one of the things we really try to build, that relationship with our seniors, because we know that keeps them active, taking them out, having companionship. Matter of fact, Justin, I think you were telling me you have a Chihuahua?
I have a Chihuahua with 9 names.
9 names. How do you have a pet with 9 names?
Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know you really love your animal. It has one name that you gave it originally, but then it has 9 nicknames that go along with it.
That's true.
The dog's name was Bun. Then it was Panini, because that's like a bun, because she's shaped. Then it was Turkey Leg, Turkey, Miss Panini, Mish Neeps, Neepshy Neepsh. And Paninis.
An obvious flow.
All of them.
Very obvious.
Right.
Very obvious flow.
As the non-leader on the panel, I also want to say, as somebody who is looking for new cities constantly to travel to and reside in, it's a metric that citizens go by, is how do you treat our citizens, our family members. And by looking at that before we go someplace, as the mayor's out there going, all right, this is something now as a childless citizen in America, that is my child. So how do the cities that I go to respect and care for my loved ones? It speaks volumes, so yeah.
It is so true that I think people really are looking for pet-friendly cities. What other initiatives are you doing with Mars Pet Care?
Well, you know, a few things. First, I want to follow up on that last point on how we've become a more pet-friendly country. When probably most of us were growing up, and many of us, this wasn't a world where like you could have pets in the hotel on vacation
It's
or
true.
the motel. A lot of the apartments, when you're a single person or what have you, right, were pet unfriendly.
Right.
And the amount of change that we have seen over the last generation in saying that pets are vital parts of our family. Frankly, it is additive to have neighbors and with pets and yourself to welcome pets. And frankly, to have, as you even saw in the video, other than the picture of Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs lost to the Lions, by the way, I'll admit that, I'll admit that. But other than that, you saw these cafes. You saw a barquet where dogs and of course their pet owners and family are able to interact. You saw cat cafes. And this
Yeah,
is
cat cafes.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. I thought that was a joke.
which are super
But
soothing.
it's like it's real thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I will admit this, if you live in Kansas City, you would know I talk often about my step cats. So my wife was an owner of 2 cats before we got to know each other. They are kind of like the top of the totem pole in our house.
Yeah.
Right? They still don't particularly like me.
You're down here.
Or the baby.
No pun intended, your top liver. No pun intended.
Right, exactly. Right? The king of the jungle, which is really the refrigerator. But in so many ways, you see that impact. You talked about this, Mayor Sheevy, the impact on you and your demeanor, on a community more broadly. And so Kansas City has seen it actually as a source of economic development and having these cafes that are pet friendly and really pet welcoming. We've also seen it in a way of saying, how can we, through multifamily development, through all that we're doing, even in the hotel space, try to make sure we're incentivizing those who are pet welcoming. So it's been a thrill.
Yeah, I love that. Mayor Barnett, can you talk about the need to continue to fund our local shelters? Because I think that's so important, because I experienced something where literally it was a senior living on a tight fixed income where they had to have a surgery, their pet had to have a surgery, and it almost threw them into homelessness. And I'm not kidding, because that's how tight of fixed incomes these seniors are living on. So talk a little bit about why it's so important to fund our shelters.
My dog Bendel is a rescue from a shelter, a mix, a wonderful dog. And what I've done over the years, my dog's 11 now, is I've used her to be a voice for things like that. So she writes a column for our city newspaper. She appeared in my State of the City last year. She wore a red bow tie, and we talked about her role in creating a community. And so,
I can only see the Instagram, the social media.
Yeah, she has more followers
I've
than
seen
I
that
do.
before. The dog can do a better job than you, Mayor Barnett.
Kind of,
I've seen all those, right?
But the point is there's, as mayors, we have unique ways to connect, and trust me, you all get the undercurrent of this. If you can connect with people on a pet level, they are much more open to listen to you on anything else. They feel engaged, they feel connected. Hey, our mayor has a dog. His dog writes an article in the paper. It's a really unique way to connect and be able to spread a larger message, like you said, about the importance of shelters and some of the programs that are out there for people that might be in financial need that can save a pet.
Yeah, that's so true. The other thing that we have in my city is an arson dog, Boston, an arson dog. It's really fascinating to watch. She was given to us by State Farm. So they do grants, but these dogs are trained really, really well to go into fire situations and be able to smell. And so I think people forget also that, they serve as other purposes, and not to mention the economics of this industry is huge, from jobs to innovation. So, pet-friendly cities are really critical, I think, to like what Justin was saying, that this is something that you absolutely look at. And I do mayor for the day in my city, and I will do a dog, obviously, pet owners. And I would just encourage any of you mayors to go out there and do mayor for the day and have a dog do it, and donate the money to a local shelter, those kinds of things. Is there anything else that you think stands out with your pet-friendly cities?
I think, just to emphasize that point on how being pet-friendly can make such a great difference. Jane Castor, the outstanding mayor of Tampa, Florida, I was out visiting her once, and she had adopted a dog in City Hall that lived in the mayor's office, was running around City Hall. And I said, Jane, are you particularly into dogs? And she said, no, not really, but everybody loves it.
Loves it.
And it's this disarming thing. At the beginning of meetings, they may come in and say, you've done X or Y wrong. We're used to this all the time. But hey, who's that? Right?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that about? It recenters you in a way that I think is just so exceptionally special. So that's an important part. For some of you wondering, though, to a kind of the underlying point of why we're here, pet-friendly cities, it makes cultural and economic sense for your community.
It's so
It
true.
makes it for both. Attracting folks to your community, as both of you have discussed, but also, frankly, it's a place that people want to be. Let's be honest, where you see people who are positive, had good relationships with pets and other pet owners and communities, no matter their age, as you know,
So
senior
true.
citizens, that's a place you want to be. You don't want to be in the place that is saying, we welcome no one from outside, whether they're on 4 legs or 2.
That is literally the #1 judge of who comes into my home is how Miss Turkey Leg.
Right?
You know, if Miss
Oh,
Turkey
right.
Leg is immediately on your side, we have 2 other cats that are, far more judging from afar, like the Muppets
Cats are.
and it was short, But as long as the dogs, they teach us empathy because we can't communicate with them. The only way we can communicate with our animals is love.
Yeah.
And whereas other people, we can use some sort of logic and try to be like, well, this is why I do things. The only thing you have there is love. So if you see someone communicating with an animal and taking good stewardship, it's a larger message about who they are as a person, what community they're in, the family they're in. And when you don't, that speaks just as loud a volume.
Yeah.
So.
I think what Quentin said is really right. I mean, the way you love on animals is a large reflection. I bring my dog to work with me almost every day. And if you're a mayor with an under 50% approval rating, and there's a few of you in here,
This is true.
if you could
This
do
is
one
so true.
thing that I would
He's
suggest,
laughing.
build a dog park. Talk about building a dog park. Get a group of people together to plan where the next dog park should be, because nothing seems to bring people together like the idea of a place where people can get together and celebrate their pets. It's been wonderful for our community, and we have one scheduled coming up even next year, and we're already talking about the next one after that.
Yeah, it's so true. Or placing pets in really high stressful situations. One of the things that we do in my city is we have a lot of pets that greet travelers at our airport because flying obviously makes people very anxious. I'm one of them. I still got to figure out how I get the pet to the dentist because that's like a really high anxious level for me. So we'll work on that. But I just think that they make so much of a huge difference in our cities. And so, and I love that both of you mayors embrace that. I want to give a shout out, and I don't know where they are. Where are my Mars Pet Care ambassadors? Where are you guys? Come on. Mars Pet
some
Care,
might be
where are you guys? I want to commend you because I absolutely love this idea. All of you probably got the keys to your rooms. And I'm keeping this one because it's so cute. It's adorable. And look, it's got the little QR code there. I think this is genius marketing. I can't remember, but someone else said, oh no, this is kind of becoming common. Is that true? I've never seen this before.
Tactile touching. That's, it's an interactive way of being part of it. It's
Yeah,
a
I
big message.
absolutely love it. Well, thank you so much for having this conversation.
Thank you.
And mayors, go and adopt pets. # Mayor made me do it.
By the way,
Yeah.
Brian's advice on that re-election thing, I wish I had known that. Every mayoral re-election has just gotten easier. Get your dog, start a dog park. It's clutch.
Well, and that's the one thing. Animal activists, they are so passionate about what they do. They typically don't like people, but they love pets, and they will. That's a way to their heart. So, and they probably weren't voting for you to begin with. But I think you've turned them over.
He's got them all on lock, maybe.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and we appreciate the Better Cities for Pets program from Mars Pet Care. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everything that you do for our cities. All right.
Thanks.
Chiefs.
Please welcome to the stage Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker and America 250 Chair Rosie Rios.
Hello, hello, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you all. You have to help me. We were in the back, and I'm accustomed to saying, Madam Treasurer, Madam Treasurer, it is an honor, Chairwoman Rios, to be here on today and to be here with you at the U.S. Conference of Mayors.
Thank you, Mayor Parker. Please call me Rosie. Call me Rosie. And I can't tell you, no one is happier than I am to be here. First of all, thank you, Mayor Lucas, and the entire U.S. Conference of Mayors for inviting me. I'm not sure people know this, but I actually got my career started in local government. I've actually worked for many cities in some type of economic development or redevelopment capacity. Most recently, my last local job was I was the Director of Economic Development and Redevelopment for the City of Oakland until 2003. And I couldn't be more proud of being a city advocate. Everything starts at the local level, that's for sure.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Listen, I'm excited about being able to have a conversation with you about, I don't care where it is I go, not just in my city and state, across the nation, and if I travel outside of the country. People are talking about what's happening in America in 2026. So on today, as leader of our America 250, I'm looking forward to hearing you answer all of the questions that each and every one of the mayors who are here today, who are saying, America 250, what is it going to mean for me? What is it going to mean for our city? So first and foremost, explain what it is, how long you've been there, and what it is that you're doing.
Excellent, thank you. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it starts today, and it starts at the grassroots local level here. So as chair of America 250, I lead a congressional commission that was established by legislation in 2016. It's a 24-member commission literally charged by Congress to start planning the nation's 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 2026. So I've been on this commission. I was appointed by Senator Schumer in 2018, appointed by by President Biden in July of 2022, so coming up on 2 years, and I couldn't be more privileged and more honored to lead this effort. So it's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey, but I would say that in this last year, starting with last July 4th, we basically started this kind of 3-year count-up, if you will. And this commission has 16 private citizens and 8 standing members of Congress, all 24 appointed by the House and Senate majority and minority leaders, so half Democrat, half Republican. But I would say that we're all partisan, nonpartisan, bipartisan. And so by having the support of the Senate and House majority and minority leaders who make these appointments, look, I've met with all of them, and they basically said a variation of 3 things.
Yeah.
One is we can't fail. There's no extension. There's no do-over. We got to get this right. Second, they said no political ideology allowed. Amen. I couldn't agree with you more. And third, how can we help? So we've been.
Well, that's the response that I love to hear.
Those are the best.
Because for all of the major leaders who are here on today representing cities across our great country, as the mayor, I'm the first woman mayor, right? Birthplace of Western democracy,
Absolutely.
American democracy here. But I'm here with fellow mayors from across the country who are saying to themselves, wait a minute, it's our 250th. I want you to say this 3 times really quickly with me. Semi-quincentennial, right? That is what everyone has been asking about. Tell us, if you will, it's America 250, but in each and every one of the states, we are now working towards having, for us, for example, we have America, a 250 America, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Talk to us about what that means and what you're working on and what number you're at right now.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's start with Pennsylvania, because I think it's a great case study and a fabulous model on which all states should be thinking about how to get involved. So the beauty about Pennsylvania and Philadelphia specifically, yes, that is the birthplace, of course, of the First Continental Congress, the Second Continental Congress, and what led to, obviously, this Declaration of Independence. So using Philadelphia as a great, great partner across the board, they have taken the initiative to form Philadelphia 250, led by Michael Numis, who could not be a better partner in terms of working closely with America 250 and how we're mutually supporting each other. And second, of course, at the state level, there's Pennsylvania 250. They are working on a fabulous convening that's with all the other state commissions, along with other stakeholders in September, that of course we are supporting. We will be there. But it's also just the grassroots level that Philadelphia really is such a great model. First of all, the fact that you have a mayor like Mayor Parker, who is here, representing such an important initiative as the 250th anniversary, says everything. And so, it starts with being kind of active, awareness and action, right? Awareness that this is happening, because we're coming up to the 2-year anniversary, then how do we make those actionable items? And so as a city, I would say, believe it or not, so on your tables, outside, at our booth, we have these pledge cards available. Now I made 2 pledges when I became chair. My first meeting as chair, September of 2022. I said that states have to form their own commissions. The federal government cannot tell the state stories, right? Every state, if you think about going back to 1776, we are a nation of nations, right? If you think about...
each state has its own voice.
Absolutely.
And its own role in celebrating this nation, and that's extremely important.
That's exactly right. Think about, back in 1776, Alaska was Russia. Hawaii was its own kingdom. California was Mexico. Texas at one point had 6 flags flying over it. We are an arbitrary moment of geographic time. And so how we think about ourselves as kind of this nation of nations, and now thinking about this as, the eyes of the world watching us with so many other things happening in 2026, this really is a global platform, right? And so while we are not the world is us. And so in 2026, as you know, is also the World Cup.
So listen, everyone here, 2026, the globe will be
the eyes of the world.
In the city of Philadelphia. We do have FIFA, we have the World Cup, we have our 250th. We also have the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. So Philadelphia right now,
absolutely,
we're focused on making sure that our house is in order so that we can welcome the globe. But I want to talk about something that people don't usually connect to history. Young people, talk about the Continental Congress. Talk about how you're engaging young people in this process, and what can our mayors take back home to encourage their young people to get
Absolutely, and that's a big priority for us. This is as much about the future as it is the past, and investing in this next generation of leadership is a big priority for us. And again, using Philadelphia as the model. So we have had a number of commission meetings in Philadelphia, but it's also, again, how can we be helpful? How can we add value? So this coming July, in fact, July 15th and 16th, we'll be back in Philadelphia participating in the Young People's Continental Congress, which is led by Michael Norris, another fabulous partner. And so they are recreating the First Continental Congress. It's the 250th anniversary of the First Continental Congress. They are recreating, with high school students, the ability to convene, talk about this 250th anniversary of the First Continental Congress, leading up to the 250th of the Second Continental Congress, right, in 2026. We're going to be there for both. We want to support that. We want to be part of it. We have to go where history happens, right? We have to get out of D.C. We have to get out of this bubble and go where history happens. Not just that, and again, we're going to be at the convening in September, also in Pennsylvania. But we are also, by the way, our legislation calls for a time capsule to be buried at Independence Hall. So of course we're going to be there for all of that, and we're supporting that left and right. And backstage, Mayor Parker and I were commiserating and colluding about how we can think about these other partnerships that we're going to do together. We have to do this together, and no one can do this alone. So
I see some mayors here, for all of the mayors who are present here today who are saying, what do you think I could be doing in my city to get ready, prepare, economically to prepare, to have some virtual, visits to some of the activity that will be taking place?
Well, believe it or not, we've already received some inquiries today, even before I got on stage, with the pledge cards that we've already put out there. So the pledge cards is basically your opportunity to say, I'm interested, how can we get involved? And absolutely, look, as long as we're talking about commissions, you know, look, we talked about state commissions, that we can't do this by ourselves. Every state has to tell their own story. Every city has to also tell their story. Like, we can't deny, again, our complicated, our challenged history. This is about storytelling. This is really a journey that perhaps we as a nation have never taken before. We want to get out into Main Street America. We want to go to parts of the country where they don't have internet access. We want to go to the Deep South. We want to go to rural America. We want to go to tribal nations. We want to provide those platforms for constructive conversations that we as a country perhaps need to really walk through the fire for the very first time.
U.S. Conference of Mayors, America 250 for me, Pennsylvania 250, Philadelphia 250 for all of our mayors who are part of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, your city and 250. Complete those pledge cards, get actively engaged. We have the best chairwoman we could possibly have. I love the estrogen that you're powering behind the efforts. That's how we know you're going to do a fabulous job.
Thank you. Well, we can't do it by ourselves. Like I said, so ready for this? Of the state commissions that we've been forming, and all of these are done by either state legislation or executive order by the governor. Ready for this? We are now at 47 state commissions.
47
47.
Wonderful.
It's exciting.
Amazing.
It's happening. It's
Listen,
happening.
well, I couldn't be more excited again as the first woman mayor in America's, in the Western world's democracy. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to everyone converging and, quite frankly, being able to take a stroll through our nation's history, because no matter the challenge we face in our great nation, we are still the greatest nation in the world.
No doubt.
Thank you all
No doubt.
for being
Thank you,
here.
Mayor
And thank you
Parker.
so very much for
You
taking
are a
some
leader.
time to come and talk with us
You
today.
are a leader. Thank
America
you.
250, everyone.
Thank
Chairwoman
you.
Rios.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for attending this afternoon session. We stand adjourned.